Hello everybody and welcome back to, well, I guess we're going to call it the 90s. So, just have, a couple little fields here to do before it gets too awful dark. And, we're just going to spread some fertilizer around and, have a good old time, I guess. So, we've got to start our harvest here before too long on, I think we have 2 fields that are, like, ready to go. We might have to buy some equipment for them. Is this actually doing anything? This doesn't appear to be doing anything, does it? Is it? I can't tell with the lighting. The lighting is very, very odd. I don't think I'm doing anything. Let's stop. Hold on. Let's take a look. What are we doing? What am I doing with my life? Okay, no, it is. Okay, good. So, we're fine. So, we're just gonna throw this on. Yeah, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with this series, other than just kind of, really just play the game. Again, I mean, my career is around the farming stuff, so, it's just kind of what it is. I try as much as I can in my business to tell people, hey, let's get away from commercial fertilizers and let's go with, let's use organic as much as we can. As bad as the word organic is. Yes, I have the organic potatoes. No, you have you have shit fertilized potatoes, my dude. So that's kind of what we're going to go for as soon as we are ready, that is. Things like this, they take a while. You don't just up and decide one day, hey, I'm going to go with natural fertilizers and, we're going to start using moo poo or pig poo and, really get after it. That's not how this works. Things of that nature just don't happen overnight. And I kind of wish that we could get into this game and be more like that, so we know what we're getting, because we're getting to a point in agriculture where it's going to become very hard to do things, and that's not to blame any certain group of people or anything like that. That's just how it's going to have to be. Things change over time, and we've got a group of people that they don't want to change. So, it is what it is. But, we still got people up in Minnesota that like to turn over the dirt just because something about an old wives' tale about it turning black helps yields or something. I don't even know the reason why, but you can almost be guaranteed that if you go up north in Minnesota, they've turned the ground with like old moldboard plows and everything like that, and that's all well and good, if you do it correctly, and a lot of people don't. So, you're only really turning in the ground to, put in trash. And I'm sorry, but if your seed bank is pretty low, you shouldn't really be having much trash anyway, and your stubbles and stuff aren't, like, you're not gaining a lot, I mean, it's not very conducive. Like, you're not all you're doing is you're damaging the soil and releasing nitrogen when it doesn't need to be released. You're just kind of spending more money is what it comes down to. So we call nitrogen is N, so fertilizers do N and K, and a little bit of stuff in there between, some other things, but for the most part it's N and K. That's all that's in manure is N and K, and you do field samples and you gotta figure out what what rate or pounds per acre you need to put down. So then we do a formula, here's your pounds per N for this field. Okay, alright, well, that's good. That's all well and good. So if we start using manure, which is the best practice, because it's got, you know, some organic material in it and can be used to rebuild some of the soil that we killed, because people like anhydrous too. It makes a really good seed bed, but it kills everything it touches. Anhydrous will straight up kill you. Like, it's just, it's what it does, you know. There's not much you can really say about that. It's just, it does as labeled. So, you know, so we killed all the microbiology on the soil, and now we need to, you know, start growing it back. So manure helps with that, where this stuff that we're doing, it's good for yields, but it's not helping the soil grow back. And you'll notice, you know, you go to like anywhere in America, the soil, the ground doesn't hold any water anymore. It's just, it's dirt. There's nowhere for it to go. There's nothing there using the water. There's nothing there to hold the water. It's just dirt. So, you know, that's a sad tragedy of land in America. You know, it's just, it's dead. You know, there's nothing you can really, I just wasted all that fertilizer for nothing. Okay, that's great. Should have checked. Oh well. So, you know, that's basically it. You know, you've got to start somewhere. Okay, so, you know, right now we're doing this, and whenever we get into it, we'll start doing things the correct way as much as we can within the bounds of the game, because we can't do minimum till. That would be the best, where, you know, you put down something and then it's fine. Another way that we can add organic material back in the ground is doing a cover crop. So we'll be doing a lot of cover cropping and turning that in. You know, it dies. I mean, that's what it does. You know, it grows up and then it starts to rot and decompose and everything. And what that does is it starts holding nitrogen in these nodules, and you know, you're not transferring it anywhere. You've made something, you've used it, so we can store it for later. So if you do a cover crop, yes, it costs you money and seed, but you're not releasing nitrogen back into the atmosphere, and we're gaining organic material, and we're doing just all kinds of stuff. We're doing good. So cover crops, A-okay in my book. So we'll be doing those a lot. We'll be doing no plowing. What happens when you plow is anytime you turn that soil, you know, I think they call it decking. Without talking to my boss, I can't remember the exact term, but that sounds the most correct. So the depth of the tooling is all the farther down anything can go, because we've compacted it so much, and we've done all the bad things to the soil. So, you know, that 12 inches, or, you know, however far your plow goes, and you're turning that dirt over, is, you know, all that's there. So, you know, you hit this layer, and you can't get roots past it or anything else like that. So, you know, it's good soil if you can get into it, if you can start to bring it back. So what you do is, instead of rolling it over, you use a Dietrich type sweep or a ripper. So we'll be using, instead of plows to do our plowing, we will be using you know, like John Deere rippers and a few other tools that are minimum tillage. Our cultivation is going to be, I think, as light as we can go in the game. And you know, why did I have to even fill up my truck? Because I'm not going to use any of this. So that's something that we're going to be looking at, is, you know, the correct tooling for the kind of farming that we want to do, because everybody just kind of picks a tool. And I do the same thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I pick a tool, I look at its width, and I go, can this get this job done quickly for me? Yes. No. Maybe. Or I don't have enough power. So, you know, whenever we start looking at certain, you know, other trucks and cars and everything, and tractors, we'll be looking at power rating and what kind of tooling that we need. And, you know, we'll go from there. It's not a big deal. God didn't even need my truck today. Wow. I thought I was going to use a lot more than what I did. So that's good enough. Alright, let's go ahead and park this guy up. It's getting to that weird time of day where it's not very bright. So, let's see here. So we'll go ahead and park this guy back up. I'm sure that we'll need it sooner than later, so might as well just leave it loaded. But I think we're going to be moving in our harvester and everything, so that'll be pretty good for us. We can get that done, and we'll use the truck, and we'll start doing a little bit of carting around. So yeah, we have a infield cart, we have a bale cart, and you know, we're gonna do this the correct way. If my steering is not too terrible, there we go. So, you know, again, back onto the soul thing. We're going to talk about all that. You know, I want this to be educational, and while I may get some facts wrong, which is highly likely, I'll misspeak, or, you know, the information will be dated, or, you know, things like that. This helps me with my job. So I'm in outside sales now, so talking about these things not only gives you information or insight into other things, but we can talk about things that I'm going to talk about, like in the real life. And, you know, you can only, how is it my boss says, you learn by doing, and you have to get some stories, right? So I have all kinds of stories about ship pumping. I don't have very many stories about farming. Okay, so whenever I started my job, I knew nothing about farming outside of what I learned in Farming Sim. Okay, so I had a very limited grasp on, you know, what I would be doing. You know, I didn't really understand anything. I didn't know any of the terms. I didn't know any of the tractors. I didn't know the difference between any of the tooling. I didn't know, you know, different headers existed. I didn't know anything. I was just some dumb West Virginian that somehow ended up in the agricultural world. So, you know, when I first started, I was working at Wilson Trailers, welding together trailers. So I can tell you anything you want to know about Wilson Trailer, but I couldn't tell you anything you wanted to know about farming. So that's kind of where we're at, is I'm still using Farming Simulator as a learning tool, you know, especially for, you know, different, do I really not have a hook? Okay, thank you. So you can use Farming Simulator for a bunch of different things. You know, it's not just random yee, let's go farming, or no sprechen Sie Deutsch, farming? Tractor? You know, things like that. You can learn from it, but you have to have the correct inputs to learn. So, you know, as we use tools and everything like that, one, I can see how they're configured, and that helps me, you know, understand the basic geometry of some of the toolbars and stuff that I'll see in real life. You know, I can gauge upon something. I have a story, although it is not real life, I still have a story about. I see how this thing unfolds, I see how this thing works, I understand very, very low level basic things about this tool, more than the, you know, JPEG or whatever I'm looking at, or the brochure. I can see how it turns in some cases, how this turns in the ground, you know, things like that that you can grow upon. So I can look at, let's say, a John Deere Ripper, 2100 series Ripper. Okay, we use the same rippers. Oh, don't go in the river. We use the same rippers on our toolbar. Okay, Guess where the first place I saw the John Deere toolbar was? Farming Sim. I knew how they looked. I could go over to the parts counter and go, I need that thing, and I know what it looks like. So, you see what I'm saying is, yes, it's a video game, but also, yes, it can be a good learning tool, but we need to do more inputs of different things. So, I'm now going to be your guys' input, and this is going to be my input based on, you know, things that I've learned. So, what is the game inputting for me is I've had to go out and Google what equipment's used, you know, how the soil is, and da 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 da, before we go anywhere else. So that's just kind of how it is. I'm going to fast forward time and I'll talk to you guys here in just a second. Alrighty, it is starting to look like rain, so we need to go ahead and get going here. So let's cut out our headlands first. I better have access to this land. I just bought it. Uh-oh. What's up with this? The soil too wet? Why did I sink out? What's going on with this? Don't tell me my bison doesn't work. My bison won't lift this header. What? Look at it. It's just digging in. But this is the header for this. No! Don't tell me this game. Ah, no. Well, that's stuck. That's not good. Let's try to get a little bit better light on the situation here. I can't believe this header's too big. What header do you use with this thing? Okay. Well, that sucks. Oh my god. Weeds. I forgot about weeds. Ugh. Alright, let's try this again. It may be this header, because it's hitting the ground. So I don't know what's up with that. But I had to get the Kloss. It's the only thing that we could afford. So we got like 89 grand back from the one that we just had, and this one was 84, I think. So ended up with 66 left or something. I can't remember how the math worked. I'm honestly thinking it might be this header. It looks a little low, so too bad we don't have a header control mod. That would be great, unless we do. Wait, do I? What's this control? What are you controlling? That's the door. Okay. What do you control? There's so many little gimmicks in everything nowadays that I don't. There's that. What do you do? Looking for things, looking for things. Oh, it's mirrors. Okay, so that's nice and good and all, but not what we need. Okay. Well, we'll get it figured out. That's not too big of an issue. I think that there is a header control mod. This should have enough flotation, even full, so that's what we'll have to go with. So I spent a lot of time trying to get this figured out, so kind of upset that this is the way it's treating me right now. So I don't know why it is, but you know, things happen, I guess. So we'll get it figured out. It's not too big of a deal. We're gonna have to watch our money. Maybe try to get a header. Cause this is a modded header. Yeah, let's make sure I'm not completely crazy. Garage. I want to say it's modded. Yes, it is a mod. Oh Oh no, now I'm stuck. It stopped, so now I'm stuck. There we go. We're on the road again. I didn't really want to use this one. We always end up with a Colossus combo. And I really like them, so I'm not like, you know, mad that we ended up with a Colossus, but I am mad that we ended up with another Colossus. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess, but it kind of sucks, because it seems like that's all we ever get to use. So I was really wanting to use the Bison. The Bison that we had was just a reskin of the New Holland, so, you know, not too much was lost, I guess, but still, you know, it's just kind of, oh well, things happen, I guess. We will get this done, though. It's just going to be kind of slow. We're at 89% load with nothing really going on. We're just trying to push the header in the ground. We're plowing the ground as we go. Just another absolutely wonderful day in the life of me trying to do farm sim things. Oh, I don't know why the game trolls me so much, but it does. So we will try to bale this and you know, sell the bales. I think that's a pretty fair idea. Kind of wish I had a course play, but I figured in the 90s we really didn't have GPS, so we're winging it. We're winging it, boys. So, it's fine. It'll be okay. I think this field will be kind of profitable. I don't know what the prices are right now. I figure something. They're probably an amount of money. I just don't know what that amount of money is. But, you know, we'll make something. We'll sell some stuff. We'll change up. Maybe go with a little bit bigger header. We've got double the horsepower, so we have double the Hirschpurs as the last combine. So we could go with not a double the size of the header, but we could go with something a little bit bigger, but still manageable. You know, as we grow, we might look into some bigger stuff. You know, there were some big framed German stuff. You know, we could look into that. You know, maybe a Klaus, like Axia or something like that. Something pretty fun, pretty big for the map anyway. Go 40 here, big guy. Should be. I'm sure that we can get something. I'm sure that we can find something that will make us money and treat us right and all the fun stuff and da 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 da. It's just, you know, I get that things are expensive. That's the one thing that kind of prohibits me on doing these gameplays, is it takes us a while to make a lot of money without cheesing the game. Like, I could instantly cheese the game. Like, we could have all the money in the world, all the money we wanted. I need 100 cows and a little bit of grass. Boom, we cheese the game. Okay? But I want to be more of this side of things. You know, this is different. Like, at some point we will need some Moo-Poo, you know, more than what we currently have, but I'm really thinking about just buying the slurry system and doing it that way, or getting digestate from the BGA. So, you know, that's more of the line of thinking that I'm on right now, is going that route, because I want to do it, but at the same time, the game is just kind of like, go do this thing. You know, it's like, just go make money. This is the only way to really make money in the game. And I feel that that does a disservice, right? You know, animals are a good money maker, but they're not. It shouldn't be that easy, is basically what I'm saying. You know, it's all well and good, but that's what we do every time. So let's not do that this time. is what I guess I'm getting after. So mind my rambling about the dumminess of some of this stuff. Come on, baby. Just make it up the hill. You can do her. We'll get you a new header soon, I promise. Because the game is a lot of fun, but if you want to do things, and this is coming from a totally different, you know, kind of deal than what you guys are probably going to do. You know, you guys load up the game, you get your stuff, everybody's got their favorite tractor, da 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 da. I can do that, and I have done that. I've got, you know, I play the game every once in a while. I just boot it up and be like, oh, I'm going to drive the 8300, you know, because it's our tractor. I know what it does, I know what it's going to do, I know how to run it, and da 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 da. But there's something missing, you know. Like, I want that for our Let's Plays. I want to have that that feeling of achievement, but it's very, very hard to get that feeling of achievement and keep everything interesting, right? So I don't want to fall into the, let's call it the Daggerwin scenario, right? Now, I haven't watched it. God, does he still do videos? I don't think I've seen anything his. Like, my YouTube feed is all kind of messed up. But he falls in the same trap every time. It was do the thing, make the money, buy the thing, cheese the game, make the money, you know, and there really wasn't a conversation about what was actually going on. Like, what is the ultimate goal, you know? Our ultimate goal here is for, hopefully, some of you guys to learn something. I think that's knowledge is power. Education is expensive. Being dumber is more. That's the saying around our shop, and it holds true to many things in life. So I want to have the game be an education tool. So that's what we're doing. But there also needs to be progress. But I'm not going to just go, herp derp, here's $2 million bucks. Buy the biggest thing in the world. You know, it's not a good look, right? Let me do this. Like, there are so many different ways that we can play this game, and I want it to feel good. Like, I just want it to feel good. So where is... use the Fiat. I guess that's what I'm trying to say is I want the game to feel realistic, something that we can grow with. That's why I didn't start us out with everything. You know, I gave us a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. It's not every day you start a new farm with 3 tractors, a Unimog, a telehandler, da 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 da. You know, maybe at one point we'll do the whole start from nothing, but that's kind of boring because you have to chop wood for so long to make money that, you know, we done 100 episodes of it. It took 100 episodes, I think is what it was, right? Was it 100 or 70 for Lone Oak Farm to actually get to the point to where it was like, boys, we did it. We can buy a big tractor, you know? I really don't have anybody who can play with me. Not at the random ass times I'm going to play. So don't mention in the comments, yes, you'll play with me. It's not going to work. I'm sorry. Because right now it is like midnight on a Sunday. I should be at work or getting ready for work. But here I am making a YouTube video. So, you know, it's very... or it's Saturday. Never mind, I shouldn't be getting ready for work. I'm a big dumb. But still, you know, that. I don't have, no. No, it won't work. So, I'm sure that there are people out there that would, but no, we're not doing that. So, I have to kind of, you know, wing it. So, we won't fall into the Daggerwind trap. We'll keep doing us. We'll make our money our own way. Hopefully the BGA will spit out some digestate. Hopefully I don't have to own it. If I have to own it, like, I don't understand that. Like, why is this not a owned thing for the game, right? It's like, what's going on? Why do I have to own this? No farmer owns their own digestate, right? I mean, maybe a co-op does, but you're not gonna earn, or it doesn't work out. So that's kind of a big flaw. So, you know, if it's that, I'm gonna have to cheat in some money and we'll buy the BGA and we're just gonna forget about it, basically, is what I'm saying. Because yeah, we're not gonna do that, man. That's so dumb. That's very, very dumb. I don't even like that idea, and I don't understand the idea of it in the game either. You know, I guess map control or something. I don't know. Do you play aggro freaking farm sim, or what's going on, you know? So but it is what it is, I guess. We'll get it all figured out. So time is running short. We'll probably end it here in just a little bit. It's been an hour and something for me, so you know, but yeah, so we just need to know a direction. As soon as we figure out the direction, we can keep going that way. We can continue to have our little talks and stuff, and you know, just kind of take it all in. So we'll do this field first. We'll get it all baled up. We'll have to buy a baler, and you know, do all that stuff, and get a front loader out here, and do all the things. You know, do the things that one does, and take all the stuff over to the BGA and try to get some digestate, and then we'll do this. We'll do this. Put this stuff right in the ground, and we'll do it the right way. So well, no, we'll have that conversation later. Because it's going to be mostly water, so we're going to have to put her on thick. So I may have to get a nurse tank or something like that, and kind of, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm sure that I can figure out tanking. Even though that's not my jam, you know. Somebody please make a dragline mod, because my mod is failing. I couldn't do it. I tried. Couldn't do any of it, so there we go, you know. Alright, so I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Everybody, thank you very much for watching. I hope I see you in the next one. Leave a comment. Of course, you know, do the whole like thing if you want to. I'm not one for asking, so there you go. And I'll see you in the very next video. Have a good evening.